we had an awesome trip to Lake Powell, and we're on the way home, and my boys and I just started talking about personal financial planning. My oldest is 18, and I'm trying to teach him what very little I know about financial planning. And then I started thinking about what I was telling my boys, and how similar the principles of preparing for your future financially are to preparing for your future in terms of your health. What similarities do you see in the two?
Yeah, I was actually just barely in our rounds discussion. I was sitting next to Eric Lee, and we were just talking about how he came back from the recent PGA event and works with some of the golfers, and we were talking about how we get into these scenarios where an athlete says, "Can you fix me? Because I have to play in 2 hours." And that's just not how it goes.
Yeah.
You can't fix somebody and have them ready physically in 2 hours, whereas another athlete has probably been spending 6 months tuning their body and getting ready for that kind of an event.
I like that. Yeah.
I really like that. I think too, also, we all think about our future in regards to money, right? Like, how am I going to pay for this? And you're always trying to invest in that. I think we really should focus that investment in ourselves. What better place to put our energies than in taking care of our bodies? Because you see the patients that come in who are active at 80 years old, and they may have a horrible spine on imaging, but their physical activity has helped them maintain that activity level where they are still enjoying life, and they don't need surgery because they've invested in themselves. So I think it's really cool.
I love that. And I even shared with my boys this quote from Warren Buffett, that the best investment you can make is in yourself. And everybody would think, well, that's a financial principle, but it's beyond that. It's also with regards to our health. What kinds of issues do patients run into as they get older, when they get into the retirement years and things? What do you see? Because we see a lot of patients that reach retirement and aren't ready for it.
I think people can become really limited in their mobility. A lot of time they're arthritic components. Maybe they're a little bit overweight and so they're diabetic. If we can avoid those things or prevent them, then you're going to have better mobility. You're able to do the things you want to do when you age.
Yeah, and they talk about often the golden years, and I hear that commonly with patients that come in and say, with their spouse, and they're together in the appointment, and say, we've been looking forward to these so-called golden years forever, to where we're financially stable and our kids are out of the house and we're retired and we have time, and now physically our bodies aren't capable of doing the things we wanted to do. And I feel so bad for that scenario, and I empathize with that a little bit, because you work so hard to reach that goal, and when you get to it, it's just not what you were hoping for.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, kind of what I was getting at, is if we're planning for the future and preparing for things that we want to be able to do in the future, we want to be preparing both financially and physically. We want to nurture relationships along the way and holistically consider that preparation. If it's just financial preparation, we see issues that patients are maybe they're ready to retire financially, but they're not ready to retire physically. And then rather than going to work, they're going to doctor's appointments. There's no guarantees. I think that there's risk in financial investment. There's things that are out of our control. Same with our health. We have insurance. We have other kinds of measures for that. But I think that it's important for all of us to consider and very carefully consider how we're investing into our future health in addition to our future financial situation.
I love that.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. If you're active and you're preparing your body physically, it's going to be able to handle a lot more. I'm always impressed with what our bodies are capable of doing, and I've seen dramatic transformations in friends and family and loved ones that have gone drastically in a good direction, and also people that have gone drastically in a bad direction. But we have the power to influence what our bodies do and how they look and how they function.
Yeah.
And I think with a little bit of effort and some dedication there's a lot that we can do.
Okay, well, time for our morning donut.
Let's do this.